sinna Joe Conley. Joe the húrim ar clipping up.
Ceapan gran clippe by San Gary, tá lága hála, níl an chuián, níl táda le bíle. Ach ceapan gur sáil an balance beidir mar éireann atá ag Tipperary ach is smúna líoch atá ag chun dé Limerick, so ba John Simon le a ceach in óise.
An is na fórne agus for an Limerick, tá seos na bagúí a se húl hééis se go bheith gortaithe. Círa aclaidí agus is mar ibre sé, agus mar sa húí a bríon ó Toby tací seach agus Mike Gallagher a hála amach beidir go bheith chumas Mike Riviera na clippe. Agus for an Tipperary le lá na park éad an de butler a gimar sa céad clippe sa gríomh inniu chumá leis nifer cúteach Philip David. Agus dullig mar síí gimar mar lá húlaí an arbí sé na bheranna agus Paulo Shelby lá húlaí na riile se caite gimar sa gún inniu. Agus Rachel an Leonio, agus sinna Dickie Murphy, Olaf Gorman, Berwyn an tahi ag mar Rachel. Agus gachlan fwy reid an Glyton, sydd yn cael siach, agus siahogyn Limerick am dŵs ar adonsi. Olaf sinna yn ddifel ag yn ffordd, agus dŵs yn dron lontas, agus sinna Michael O'Clair yn lenni mi gymryd tybos li le hasach yn ora. Liam O'Cahail yn berfi al hwntwrta. Liam O'Cahail yn gyrraedd fel hysach. Bwysig a hwr, bwysig a bryd, agus yn cyn sgôr, ag Liam O'Cahail. An sgôr, Joe.
An sgôr eisiau, mae'r fi ar smacht a chwrel eisiau'n ced twtch y fi ege. Bys rwy'n Sean Wan, mae'n mwyn berch yn eif eisiau. An sgôr, an hws lahi tosiri, ein tyfu.
Ni'r yn isfwn na cepan hwys second ys ffimi sy'n glypig yn hwys eisiau'n har at rasnam. Cyn ysfyd yna, wyfra hyn yn ddil o hwyl o'ch yn gair einsyn. Agus bwynt eisiau sy'n eisiau dro, ac sy'n am lof hwli nolog mag sihi. Agus glad cymach ag yn nolog. A Ciro, Liam Limerick nes na bliant o ddod yn eisiau sy'n dro. TJ O'Rian. Ac sy'n am Raimi. Glad cymach ag Raimi O'Rian. A Ciro yn yr eist. Atmosfér gan Scotland, Míl a Húlacán. Fel dít Míl a Húlacán agus be neid an de butler rúne sin an feartá ag mas i chéad clipas a gríomhniu. Agus Gary O'Keirbe hooks i seo fer pwyr jebwyntse sa clipa dora. Gahar. Agus Cossi har a prasna. A sgôr ar fad o Gary O'Keirbe. Heis númad agus big a second goleibna. Atmosfér yn tach yn Jojo.
An sgôr yr eist lahi Limerick. Ach ta schroesio to nie cael y ffordd eich an Kerry agus hwle hyn agus Kirby. Mae'n trwy'n sy'n egin mwrs gymryd, ha'n chans ag Limerick.
Oedd ymach yn sy'n egin cwl bod i Brendan o'n cwmi. Sy'n a Sian o Lecha. Sian o Lecha. Sy'n a Declan dyn eisiau teach prosna. Agus ar chosyn to Declan. Liam O'Cahail i gyro ato. Dachni, o'n i'n Declan i chwrw anda. Agus i sy'n bwysig o hon, agus i sy'n bwysig o Creed. Agus ar sgôr yn sy'n o fi hon o pleri yn lond pasoch fy Hybrydoran. Hybrydoran rochwynt sy'n Limerick pwynt sy'n wan. Ron nwmed agus carach o second imid sio.
O tŵn bygag declination sio, ni'r atadau le dyn ydych mi o clearing yr ein y hart agus an wôl eisiau. Pan y sŵle rohen sef tip agus rochwynt anwef o Jacob.
Limerick yn eist, ei ffortin sy'n yn color o blisad o'n cati. Sy'n dro Philip O'Dimmer, a sy'n Steffan Afton o'ch o'n Ferrimor. Rhaid o bach ein Steffan. Gary O'Keirbe agus colwm o crosi i gael ni. TJ O'Rian, tati yma achos y gwynne. Agus sy'n bar o'n bawlw, gyda dweud yna bari yma. Gahar, gyfrin o bar o'n bawlw. Agus ta cwsyn dos y glypyn Johan. Agus yn sgôr, Limerick off-wynte, Tipperary yn off-wynte. Ac o acymwyd gydisio Joe mae'n clypyn da fe.
O, an clip agus Johan Marby siarad ffalyn pwynt sy'n fi beg o'n un y tarlu ag lawr yn y parc. Ta an sprit sa fwyrin sio, ta an sprit sa fawrin. Gap yn gan clip y bach ma.
Rasna parking challenge Seamus am orra, biting yn chwmog o hirta. Agus sy'n Declan Rua, Declan O'Rian. Stech yn droed yn lontos o'ch yn sy'n agus siat ag Michael O'Clair. A bach yn eist. Agus i sy'n pwysig o hwn yn cymos o dŵn. Ni hasyn a credu o Tucer o'n ferry honig i siach mar ar yn y dynora. Chibí nó tuc ar an scór ó Chibí agus yn tríú teag go hebrid ar an péire Limerick.
Og sen seo go dé, tá mai go círi amach go dé aige ar an tíbhí lé go bíon beg ar an Bresnáin 2010.
3 pwyntau i ddau yn ôl. Tipperary ar y fantasa. Ac sy'n ar 10 o Cleary. Sy'n dro TJ o Rhyd yn eist. Shane O'Neill yn i'r dod i cini yma. Ac sy'n ar cynnal o Crosby. Ac ys yn ei siens ag yn cacti dy ffôn i'r prohorog Lisa ddim lan. Ac ddech chi yma ar y dim blin. Ac ys a waith y bristin sy'n eich prohorog ys poc dim blin i fai sawg y Limerick. Dahi o Cleary leis yn gansio. Siach Bides sy'n dod TJ o Rhyd agos Paul o Silva. Ac diari na Paul o hyn Dolan fi'n lanog. Chance i un o'n y botler yn ysol hykini yma. A ham o chos y do wacus o Paolo. Ac sy'n ar Cleary o Tucker. Chos yn trog an i'r hyrwys yn bot. Ac sy'n ar Sean O'Neill o'n mwtor. Kieran ar y dal, Kieran ar ei agos Kieran ar sy'n dro, Mial o Hwlahan, ond Barrett Sbarada, agos 6 sgôr Sbarada, o fel ar y pwnt i Mial o Hwlahan. The 4-year post goal, Limerick 3 pwyntau, Tipperary 3 pwyntau.
An scór go Joe, an bert just múlíoch tá sa limont. Kieran Carey agus Mike Houlihan. Sy'n ein cynal sgôr at y penter yn achta fel liwr stytr gael y siach sy'n un y lan tosig gan tad y siach des.
Dahi o Clear ac sy'n ar Sean O'Neill ar eist. Diglan o Rhyd. Sy'n dro Liam o Cahan yn beri cwntwrtach. Ac sy'n ar Diglan dyn as y dilyn yma. Ach, wel, dwi'n eisiau pas gysio am achta ddwch o. Agos asnafon o'n Baron Brewery. Gwant yma yn eisiau Marcus o Paolo. Ydy o'n Baro Paolo, gys Raimi o Rhyd. Gary o Cyrfel, Kenneth Benton a Gary yna. Sy'n tal y pas, o'r siart yn sio, ac Baro Paolo. Cyrfel o Bari yna. Agos daith i'r, yes, agos daith i'r Pwril. Wel, fi a'n siart yn sidio.
Fi a'n siart yn gaff, fi sio emmert mar ag na cwlbar y fi ag hyperdoran. Nir o'n ert yn raw eig yn aride. Beidir a cicail beidir, ach tá an imri ar an fwy lan tos i Limerick. Tá sy'r beth na wan lag, ni lach carhwyr im yn y marsin, ach tá sy'r nidr dyn y tada.
Sy'n dro do Liam o Dŵn, o Thomas o Dŵn, Thomas yn dyn o'n eisiau ar y gwl. Pwysig o hord o Thomas o Dŵn, pwysig o Creel o Thomas o Dŵn. Tipperary yn cher y pwynt yn eich Limerick 3 pwynt agos bal sgôr y fi yn sy'n.
Sgôr anwa, hwg sy'n gymahan.
Machig mi hol o Hwlahan. Sy'n dan ni hol bwsan o'n si. Isiau hwyd o TJ o Rhyd. Yn y gafod gwrdd ar Shane O'Neill a Shane ac ni yn un a siarad yna. A ffos ni siarad i fo. Baro Paolo agos Darnell Fowler. Agos yn giawr gan mi cadw gan o Kirby siarad y draslan. Ac mae i'n chance ag Shane O'Neill y tom sy'n Joe.
Ie, ac pan cael bod Sian nerfisio, rwy'n ni'n siarad yn sy'n, rwy'n ni'n chysgip i agos ni'n cael y biles, ac Sian nerfisio. Ac mae hagen sy'n beidir yn un y lan tost, ta'n chance ag Limerick, ac ta'n siarad yn sy'n sy'n sy'n.
Da'n siarad eisiau, agos da siarad stwpi sy'n hyn sy'n. Agos sy'n a Mial o Rhyd, agos dal ar Mial o Rhyd, agos wedi gathyn i'r siarad, da'n sefn y ffrwg yn gynnar chi Gary o Kirby sy'n ar y draslan. Rwy'n eisiau ero'n dal o fod yn gychwyr e'r chos yn dorri gyfer dorri ni ar y siarad. Mae'n gyda bod yn siarad eistedd, wyl siarad o hi sy'n le lol y cwch. Ac stopi go hyn dach yn sy'n ag am hwlbar y brydol o cymyn. Sean O'Neill agos Sean O'Neill a gairi. Declan o Rhyd, sy'n sy'n drog Philip o'n dyfu. Iach was gwrdd o'n fawr len hos y cyn bod y prif i nhw. Seamus O'Moran. Dahar le Ali bí gortaí a timir a nai hol portlangus a le derma. Is chance crochor glísan is seo glama. Glísi Shirola. Agus sísan is do TJ O'Reilly. Agus Paul O'Shelby. Paul. A bloccan is Leon Dagger. Paul about the end is Shimaro at the barrel follow. A bloccan is O'Reilly. And it was O'Reilly. Shaq. Yeah, that was a bit of Jeff at the Paul on Crunchy Marcus again. Marcus on the shot over the floor. Marcus O'Paulo. Perfect on Marcus here. Puts it hard the east. Agus against the puts it up. Oh yeah, fully and clear. Marcus O'Paulo. Agus from the board there. Post scored in east and short. It's not simple. 10 points indeed.
And scored the Doig Mark O'Paulo and shit. Gina ja hossi Limerick gimach gahinto. Is on scored the Doig and skilla kahalla table because Sanchin. On scored.
Gary O'Keefe. She's in it. Egby and Toby. The Hillary and the Gerard got for the ones. Hit in the chin. I can see one come off the mind. Reach the chin. Quibi on Lisa. Bites him on the head. I can hear one Cahill. I can spell that name on Cahill. Even that's a point drug of Shea Howley. Half man of good Irish Agahard. Because one chin here on the Mahasa there. Timo do the hook is he shot. Is Tasha. Quick slap. Timo the whole window. Points it, he dash, puts it out across the road, the Award. And Darwin points it, claims up with the Coogie down to hit the Darwin. Timber Darwin, hold points, and leave up 10 points. And it should have been a whole of all, should pass that, it's out with TJ O'Reilly. On the skin of TJ O'Reilly. TJ O'Reilly, TJ, did you hear him? Down. Had a drop down on TJ O'Reilly. I can see that score is on to these shots. Sachlevella, Caddish, the play of Hoyamo. Limerick, 5 points, Tipperary, 5 points. On
score a Sarah Honey Mujinu. I'm Spanish and Costa Tigers on Commerce attack up. Achayina, catch the Yin is a Yin at East to Gasanis.
Chance a shot on that man. The Anglo Board, I get young with Isha. I get a bell of his hand. What's it going to Isha? That's the goal! Tom Poole and Tipperary, and look at Shelby, hello Clary, and put it Johnson. Mihal O'Cleary, we give us the lead in there, Hosaghdara, and his shagging was man locked us up. August on Tipperary, and he called Hookie, he and the Cooey, and I Cooey points. August Levi, Joseph Cooey, Ro Hookie, let's end this against you, Joe.
On Pissimmer, John Leahy. Kieran Carey, should I come to Harlow? Achar Choolig, Chootal the flying to Pradara.
Bites him up as a there, like a Sean O'Neill. Agus in his chance again. Lead O'Cobina. Because he marked me on the whole of it. Here's an battle here that gives you the lead. Agus Brown Theatre. It's the Shin Agus the head up to the Brabant Nero's HKB Hilly will look. Agus Puck's here, Stachelthal, Gary O'Keefe. Chance. Egg Gary. Score a Hamshu, the leader. In Portuguese, 8 points he won. Gary's a flip it. But he couldn't chin it. The Hallafall wrap across the routine because chance at Gary. 4 points have into the forward there. Green again option. And 10 points at leader from Dorn to Calder, Gary O'Keefe. And scoring this. Tipperary down on the heel of Cooing. Leaving up 10 points in. Picker up. Mike Gallagher tackles himself for Limerick. Agus Misha the longest two action he's a job. After Hutu but can left on Tankity. Now Agus puts it in myself for Limerick. It's Kishon O'Leil for Pauli Yama. Every hello hula Hoderish. Agus Colombo Cropshy in Goshen. Agus in his chance Gary O'Keefe. On Berna Alain who got 8 points to 1. Asha half then. Shaska slap, Timo can hold. Agus Green and each stone Gary O'Keefe. A score in this, Sean Stott Semple. Limerick Siap bwyte, ac ta Tipperary yn bos hwn ci le hi yn y cwig. Brendan o'n cymi, eisiau bod yma. Ni o'n o hwyl o'ch yn gyfer yn y siafra. Siap sy'n eisiau colom o'n gransi. Colom yn dyn o'r hwyl yn y siaf. Pols ar y ddwrsi, colom o'n gransi. Ni ar i lesio o'r ohoda. Ni hon o hwyl, ni sy'n actio o'n cero. Siap sy'n fi hon o'n galio, ni ar i lefi hon y ceda, i'r o dog o hyn. Ac sy'n actio o'r tocer. Ac eisiau colom o'n cynnig o'r tocer. Yn dorn y cael cynnig o'n Tipperary sy'n geid le. Agus Bokr yn sgôr gyffoediach. Tipperary hi yn y cwig, Limerick siap bwyte.
An haiflin sy'n dod sy'n bar gymunchyn, sy'n glitio. Ac miach mach o gil y ffad yn loa. Gymor o'r lor yn y port, gos na lun y lia hosgol.
Sy'n dod Sean O'Neill. Ac tag yn chbar o Paul yma. Ni agam oedd bor o'n gyfarag yn eisiau sa flippe. Agus gwant y sy'n eich gydrofi o hol greri. Wel, hwani oedd yn eisiau bach ach o fad yn e. Deglon o'r rhywun. Agus Jim Cole y sgôr. O Ieglon o'r rhywun. A gen bwynt y bod e gen gydeisiau sa flippe. Tipperary dawr yn y hyn y sien ys Limerick siap bwynt. Sgôr i'n taf jo.
Sgôr anweb, mae'r ni'n ymwyd cod y dyn teg deg gydisio. Ca'r bro lod i'r môr ac o'n rob yn nwch byddai Ciaran Kerry y gydisio ac pwynt o'w des y fi'n te.
Frin nhw beth gyda le ham. Thomas O'Dw. Ac gwaith sy'n gofod siap. Siap i'n Limerick sy'n andare o'r Kerry. Dahi. Wedyn y dahi roedd y gyd yna. Sgôr gydol! O, Dahi o'r Kerry. Ond tasgwr pwynt yn gylidro. Agus tŵr y siasyn i'n sbwrod gylidro. Fydd y sien Tipperary, ddech pwynt yn eisiau glidro.
I fel dres sgrifach ar y wachl yn er sprint agos comas agos acliach dy fi yn pwynt eisiau na. Sy'n sgôr y sars o lo gwydi eisiau. Unta.
Sean O'Lecha. Gyholen o John O'Lecha. Gyholen o John O'Lecha. Ystagris Mihal o Cleary. Bloc o Dysys ac sians ar hyn Mihal. Deg Mihal dyn eisiau gyda ac sy'n cynnu rolan o hal sy'n y wyllid. Dwrt yn reit o Nicky Murphy gyda. Gyda'r Mihal dyn eisiau fel agos. Mae'n yn bedr o chwestiwn ni loch cachu eich Limerick. Parhwys os dyn eisiau gyda'n Ac y sians yn eisiau Thomas O'Dwn. Sgôr yn Lemsiw. Tipperary, Peir y Ponteg i gydeisio sy'n chlyffe. Siafon mor yn fair play o Wysiol Limerick. Eisiol, nes eisiau gyfach o'r yma. Ac da'n si yma, ys bwyle, pwy bedr agos pris sgôr yma eson. Ac Dyna'n gap o gwyle. Agus Sean O'Lecha, eisiau bod pwy bedr tri sgôr. Ta si sy'n top badr. Agus hawl y sgôr yn sy'n o Sean O'Lecha. Ond sgôr yn eich, Tipperary yn y hyn y siap, Limerick off bwyte. Ond sech y cwd nhw mewn cant i sios i cein le, ac mae'n rhaid sam bresien cap bwynt mae'r fi cwpl o gorthiad. Colom o'n gronsi gys Mihal Dinesh. Droch wyn y tîm lun yn sy'n o wachus agos nes sians y greimi o'r rhi yn Camlys ar y wyn yma mae'r wyn Marcus o Paolo. Gan mag iawn siaw reimi o'r rhi, sy'n dod deglon o'r rhi. Ac i'r ein yn y deglon i chodion yn ymlaen. Wyt y sy'n sy'n dragyn ond y bwtr chwyglu i fod cahel. Gyholen. Sy'n eisiau drod ni efo dŵn. Ach eisiau ni mi yn iesh agos e'r ffori agos e'r tri yn cael. Gyrymw enge Tipperary sy'n glyffisio. A ni'r ochdol hwmos o dŵn y gael sy'n. Ach i'r ein ni'r oedd y cosegyn agos yw'n siaw iesh agos e'r ffori. Mwmed bresio. Ibrieg yn reitio Dicky Murphy sy'n gein lensio. Limerick och bwynt ach Tipperary yn hyn y siap. Gary O'Keirbo. Savitro action an Nolan McShee. Agus Clan Tamar ag an Nolan McShee. Ag Tipperary in the game of Nehra. Decent chin in the reach wagon Hurling. Gonna play the lane by Galligan and the Keno the Hurling for Mike Sinclair. The early chase of Hurrowa agus Crohron leads out of Panting. I give a soft for the pitch to the Villar. Philip O'Debby. The Barcy Orgachani has the show away. Agus block on the she's got in. Extra ball off Liverpool. It goes Shane O'Neill. Barmy John on his Dushkin Neely. The lot of the flame of the Gibbons come off Hurrebe. Agus chance and Shinek Thomas O'Doon. Shows a Buckley. Now Tom again. He blocked him off to Sean O'Neill. Yeah, blocked into John agus Rainy O'Rian. Sean O'Neill. The horn of Gojish in their clay agus an Corey. Lewis Asher Sigler for Shaw. An Barmy Turon is Dushka Joe, the lead along to the Libra at the end of the horn.
Tá sé déanana go donna, agus ní bháin bhfuil snús go scóra tá sé teach amach, agus chuirte sé ná an brú ar an iarn na leog, mus a bád.
Even on Tipperary, she's in the knee, hello Clary. And Yarshaw, William Buck's ball taking the hello Clary. The Hurricane, we shook a minute. The Husher of Yorkini. Score. Take the hello Clary. Agus it is. Tá cool, like a scoff wins a ball, take the whole Temple of Gadisha. Manchester Boss Hurricane. Tá sé contour of Joe.
Tá sé gimmet go maib, Wolmer Raw River ach cínte scór an deas a bhinte.
Agus in Adolf Shakey ag an réitúr an scoring seo is that Semple Glahon to Brador on the heel of Hawk.
Very warm welcome to Semple Stadium Thurles. 47,000 people have witnessed the first half. These are the way the teams lined out from the beginning. Joe Quaid, of course, back between the posts and also gaining selection from the start, is one of the best hurlers in the country, Kieran Carey. No place for Mike Galligan. Brian Tobin took his place at number 13. The Tipperary line-out as follows: Conor Gleeson, captain at left half back, Colin Bonner centre back, and of course up front a very good full forward line: Cal, Butler, Cahill, Cleary and O'Dwyer. Dickie Murphy gives us the signal. He starts the second half. And what an interesting first half has been. That goal by Cleary, the essential difference between the teams. 5 times they were level, and only now do Limerick trail by more than 2 points. There's confirmation of the scoreline as you join us with just 20 seconds gone in the second half. And of course, one change as well, just to bring you up to date as regards the Limerick team. Pat Heffernan is on for Limerick, and Shane O'Neill, the full forward, has gone off. This free by Houlihan is dropping to the right and wide. And also in terms of Limerick team news, Mike Galligan was introduced with 7 minutes to go before the half-time whistle, and the man that went off was Brian Tobin. So that's the story so far. A very interesting first half, a great tussle indeed between these two players. Kieran Carey was simply superb for the first 20 minutes. Cloudy day here in Thurles, no sun, no wind, no rain. A perfect day for Munster Championship hurling. James Moore with Conor Gleeson sending that ball in. It's a poor cross. It comes to Paul Shelley. Down towards Kevin Tucker. Scored 1 great point in the first half. John Lahey with 2 Limerick players around him. One of them happens to be Mark Foley, who has the slipper. Giving it across towards James Moran, and that too goes to the right and wide. And James Moran, I think, is apologising to one of his colleagues, but he's also picked up an injury. And the Limerick mentors are coming in now to check with him. And it seems to be hamstring problems, Sean.
I think this is the Limerick forward line are not moving great at all today now, and they have 2 changes made. That Heffernan is in at full forward, but they haven't been throwing any problem to the tip back line so far in this match, and I think they would have to if they got to get a grip of it, you know.
Here's Pat Heffernan, introduced at half-time for Shane O'Neill. O'Neill was doing a lot of grafting, but not really achieving an awful lot at full forward. Kieran Carey, getting it down towards Barry Foley. And chasing after him is Rémi Ryan. Good ball in towards Mike Gallagher. Nice turn. Whipping this straight over the bar. The best response to any disagreement with your manager is to perform. Mike Gallagher is proving it. Now 2 points between the teams.
Great score by Mike. But they really needed this now, I think, and they'll need somebody more like Mike Gallagher to make a bit of space, and that's what he's really good at.
Down on the sideline, Kieran Malooly.
Yes, indeed, Marty. Substitute coming soon on the Limerick team, almost as I speak. James Moran from Mahan has been injured on the half-forward line, and his place will be taken by none other than Frankie Carroll. Memories of last year's Munster Championship, perhaps.
Indeed, Kieran. So now it shows the depth of talent that there is at the moment on Shannon's side when you can keep Frankie Carroll on the substitutes bench. This is Tommy Dunn. Joe Quaid judges it, then gathers. Trying to get it down past Sean O'Neill. Batted down by Aidan Butler. Rémi Ryan. Good work by the number 5. Spotting Kevin Tucker available. Nero Gninaman. And that is going over Joe Quaid's crossbar. Tucker scored a great point in the first half. He repeats the dose in the second period.
Very good score by Kevin Tucker, but he's very good off his left side always, coming across the field. And Tip seem to have these options up front, that they have the guys to get the scores. Now, whether he's going to be left to Mike Gallagher or not up front, I don't know. Gary Kirby is not involved in this game at all today, so he'll have to up his performance too.
First touch almost for Frankie Carroll. Conor Gleeson gets there. Stephen McDonough and Carey again. Up towards Frankie. Nice pull in midair. Defending is Michael Ryan. Challenging Mike Gallagher. It's not easy to get past those two boys. Heffernan and Gallagher. Stephen McDonough. He's been very solid at right cornerback. Also doing a lot of good work, Sean O'Neill. Gary Kirby. With him is Colin Bonner. He has no Hurley now. It comes to Pat Heffernan, who also has no Hurley. Noel Sheehy, Barry Foley, fair shoulder. And that goes off the Tipperary man, and that's a line ball for Limerick. Joe O'Leary from the Napiershi club there in Cork, the linesman at the far side. Scorer of 1 point in the first half, Barry Foley. He's played very well, despite not increasing his personal tally. And off camera, Dickie Murphy is speaking to Conor Gleeson, and he's booked the Tipperary captain for some more off-the-ball challenges on Frankie Carroll. Sideline cut is taken. Gary Kirby put off by John Lahey. Comes to Paul Shelley. Under pressure again. And that goes off him for a 65. Tremendous pressure by Limerick being exerted now on this Tipperary full-back line.
I think these tip backs, though, Mark, they're really synced up today. I mean, they're covering for each other really, really well. Maybe their clearances aren't all that lengthy, but they're very tight and supporting each other very well. And these Limerick forwards are going to find it very, very hard to get through these guys.
The referee, Dickie Murphy, has obviously given a free here to Paul Shelley for some pushing. It looked as if it was going to be a Limerick free. Mike Houlihan pulling on it. And that's definitely a Tipperary line ball. The only disappointing feature of this first half, and for Len Gaynor and Tom Ryan, is from a skillful point of view, the sideline cuts have not been that spectacular. Let's see what happens here. Rémi Ryan, much better, right into the middle, to the unmarked Mark Foley. Up towards Pat Heffernan, coming out to meet it, but Mick Ryan is there. Under severe pressure, gets it out over the sideline. And Limerick again have possession. Mike Houlihan coming across to take it. Referee Dickie Murphy just telling Frankie Carroll and Aidan Butler to push back. That's what I mean by sideline cuts going terribly astray. John Lahey gets the clearance in. Comes to Declan Ryan. Now that would be a great point. It is.
Now that's as good a score, I think, as you'll see in any hurling match at any grade. He seemed to be off balance on probably what is his weaker side. And good, I'd say, 60 metres out on the sideline. A very good point, Declan.
You can see here that this is the second time he's beaten Kieran Carey. What a spectacular effort. Here's Kieran Carey. Down towards Barry Foley. Knocked away. Comes again to Paul Shelley. Michael Ryan. And again Tipperary under severe pressure. Keeping it in is Mark Foley. Declan Ryan now beginning to gain a little prominence and superiority at centre forward. Michael Cleary was fouled by Mike Nash, and that is a free for the Premier County. Champions are finding it difficult, Sean Stack, to find their rhythm.
Well, there are some great individual tussles here today, and I think none more so than Mike Nash and Michael Cleary. I mean, they're really tit for tat in there, and Michael is finding it very, very hard to get space. I haven't seen Michael Nash playing this inspired hurling for a long, long time, and I think he's really holding that full backline together. But the Limerick half backline are dominating all the first half, and they have started the same, and maybe it's only a matter of time before you see Mike Houlihan being changed back to centre and bring Kieran out to midfield to get a bit of impetus to their forward line.
Tommy Dunn with the free. He scored 2 points in the first half. And he's accurate in the second half. His hat-trick of points changes the scoreline. Tipperary lead the champions by 5 points. It's a full house in Semple Stadium. 47,000 people are here to witness a championship semi-final. Frankie. Low down towards Mike Gallagher. That's a good cross. Good defending by Rémi Ryan. Into the middle. Houlihan onto it quickly. Going for the point himself. And that is over Brendan Cummins' crossbar.
Great score by Mike Houlihan. I mean, on the run there, it was a marvellous point. But a great ball again by Mike Gallagher. He has made a huge difference since he came in. A marvellous crossfield ball, well cut out by Michael Ryan, who's having a marvellous game for Tip with left cornerback. And but an excellent point there, I think.
You can see this beautiful point on the way. Mike Houlihan putting it over. Back it comes towards John Lahey at the other end, and that is over the bar. This is what we came to see, and now Tipperary and Limerick are producing it.
This was always going to be one of the classic matches of the year, I think, and even though the first half wasn't that fluent, I mean, it's opening up now and spaces are being created. And I mean, John Lahey is always the great midfielder going forward, and that just typified his type of hurling again.
Declan Ryan picking up an injury in the process there of that particular escapade. And this is the scoreline with 11 minutes gone into the second half. Tipperary 112, Limerick 10 points. And I'm sure that Tom Ryan will be very disappointed, Sean, more so with the forwards than defence or midfield.
And I'm sure Tom Ryan was very worried about his forwards a long time before today. And I mean, he's all his cards thrown on the deck now here. All three substitutes are in. And this is a cauldron of excitement and fire down here, and there's no pullback. So Limerick are down 5 now, and something has to happen soon for them if they're going to stay in this competition.
A place in the Munster final at stake. And how Tipperary would love to win this one against the team that beat them in the Munster final after a replay 12 months ago. Hurling again. Rémi Ryan, prominent at right half back, to Michael Ryan, who's playing well under severe pressure. A challenge there by Mike Galligan was not liked by the referee, Dickie Murphy, and Galligan is going to be booked for that illegal challenge on Paul Shelling. Let's see this again, Sean.
Marty, I think these tip backs I have never seen them as cocky as this. They're all going up and showing their hand. Rémi Ryan that time, Shelley, and I mean Mike Ryan, they're doing this and they seem to be inspired. Limerick are all that little step behind, and they're getting plentiful supply of the ball, so they have to start opening their shoulders here now.
So Mike Galligan is booked as Brendan Cummins from Ballybacon Grange in County Tipperary takes the free. Declan Ryan knocking it down for Kevin Tucker to pick it up. Carey is in hot pursuit. It just seemed to put him off.
I don't care on Carey. I mean, Kieran does most 99 days out of 100 he won't give up, and that just typifies it. His heart and soul is with this Limerick team. He chased back 30 yards there to get a hook on an end that he wasn't even supposed to be close to. Here we see the change, Marty, that we're talking about. Mike Hurling going centre back now.
In fact, now Kieran Carey has taken up the challenge, as we spotted there, Sean, on John Lahey, and Sean O'Neill seems to be gone back to centre back. Let's see, as Kevin Tucker, Mark Foley, Declan Ryan's jersey being pulled by Foley off the ball, comes outside to Michael Cleary. Anybody available? Cal is calling for it to the far side. Coming like a train is Lahey, but the pass is not a good one. He's facing Declan Nash, but Lahey from a typical enough angle puts it over the bar, and that secures his hat-trick of points in this Munster Championship semi-final. Tipperary are looking good.
This man is sure causing problems, I think, but Michael Cleary won a ball on this side, and beautiful ball across the Cahill. His hand pass wasn't the best in the world, and Lahey had it all to do with a great score again.
"20 minutes left in this semi-final. Declan Ryan are chasing and harassing and pursuing everything. To Cleary on the wing. Here's another point. They jump for joy in County Tipperary. They jump because the Munster champions from Limerick are on the rack.
Now Tipperary are on a roll here. I mean, they're finding all sorts of gaps in this half-back bench suddenly. And I mean, Limerick now are gone, what, 4-7 points down. That was a beautiful ball into Cleary. I mean, he just landed at his feet, and he gave him all the options of the ball to take his point.
Well, I saw Tipperary play Kilkenny here a few weeks ago in the National Hurling League, and the type of ball that they were feeding Cleary was something else. Galligan doesn't need to feed anyone. Another point for Mike Galligan. 2 in the second half for him.
Gary Kirby has come out here now right half forward to see could he get into the game, and he made a contribution there for Galligan. He had a beautiful point.
It's a very good point by Galligan. Tipperary mentors trying to keep the concentration going now. Liam Cahill is there with Declan Nash. Aidan Butler is the number 8 for Tipperary, and he's there again. So too is Cahill with Mark Foley. Referee gives the free to Limerick for that pull across Mark Foley, and Liam Cahill is being spoken to by the referee, who has again a quick word with Joe O'Leary. So let's look at this again.
Well, it was good defending initially, and I think Mark Foley getting a bit frustrated eventually, but maybe he had to react to the pull from Cahill originally. Maybe he did that, in fairness to him.
So the pull by Liam Cahill gives the free, it seems, but for dissent it's going to be a hot ball. John Lahey has it, believe it or not. And for the chop down there, the referee, Dickie Murphy, clearly indicating why. And he's explaining it again. to Kira Carey. It's a free to Tipperary and to Tommy Dunn.
If Limerick come out of this front half, I mean, they will go down as one of the great teams of all time. I mean, their backs are really to the wall now. They're down here in the heart of Tipperary, surrounded maybe by thousands of Tipperary people in a team that's really flying in all cylinders at the moment. So they have it all to do.
Here's another Tipperary man, Tommy Dunn. His 4th point of this Munster Championship semi-final. Tipperary are looking better as time progresses. 17-18 minutes, in fact, gone now in the second half. Gary Kirby is now, as Sean says, a wing forward. Frankie Carroll playing centre forward. It's a pass inside for Kirby. Galligan battling with Michael Ryan. He's held, and that's a free for Limerick. And that should be a free for Gary Kirby to take.